Welcome to the Now You Know podcast, a podcast that will guide you to successfully navigate the online world and give you, as a super bonus, some thought-provoking takes on life. Without further ado, here is your host, entrepreneur, marketer, professor, and author, Flavio Salza. We are happy to have you here today. Enjoy the show.
So today's episode is going to be listeners targeting. Well, if you've already been listening to this podcast, you might already have a well-defined vision of who your target market niche is. And I hope you do have that already. But we need a next thing, which is to figure out how you can appeal to that market that you defined before, right?
A, B, C. A, always, B, C, closing. Always be closing. Always be closing.
So the idea is not only always be closing, but always be appeal to them, right? You need to appeal to your market and make them, get excited about whatever you are offering or whatever you're posting, etc. So basically, you need to go deeper on the research. We already talked about studying your target market. One of these episodes, I don't remember which one, but you can always check all the episodes that the one that is talking about target market. Just find that one and listen to that if you are not sure about your market yet, your target market yet. So this time you should research on the things that interest them, your market niche listeners,
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
For example, if you are a specialist or have a service or product or company in the cosmetic area, for example, and your target market niche are women that use makeup, then perhaps some videos, content on how to use your product or some tricks on beauty will resonate with that market, right? With them. It's not, the point here is that it's not a one-fit-all approach, right? Because your listeners will vary in so many ways, from have different tastes to diverse interests, etc. So you need to create some kind of basic classification to aggregate your listeners under one roof. It's an interesting approach, but you need to narrow down the target. It's called, in marketing, it's called segmentation of your market, share, right? Your market target. You have to segmentate that market. And the easiest way to do a segmentation in the marketing is to classify, per segment, your listeners. You can use so many different classification, like demographic, for example, geographic location, gender, age, race, and so on. So as action, I would like you to start to classify your listeners in segments. Identify them the best way you can and make some aggregation between your listeners, right? So if you can pinpoint something in common between the different segments you created, the key here is to find a trace of what your listeners might have in common. For example, can be something like geographic location, like I said before, or gender or age. So as long as you classify them, you can start to actually make content for that segment. And that will resonate much more with them because, let's think like this. You creating some content which is TikTok type, target to young people, right? that will not really resonate with old followers or listeners that you have. So you have to create also a content that engage those followers or those listeners which has a little bit over age or has a more, I don't know, different cultural background or race, etc. So as long as you identify those listeners and then create crafted content to them, then your chance to get these target listening to you over and over is much higher. And that's the point here of this exercise. So classify your listeners in segments, identify them as best as you can, make aggregation of those tiers, and then you started to craft contents based on that classification. Okay? So I talk to you next week again, Monday, same time, same bat channel, right? So see you soon again. Bye.
Thanks for listening. The Now You Know guidebook is now available at Amazon worldwide. Get your copy on paperback or Kindle. You can also keep up and interact with Flavio Salza via LinkedIn and Twitter. Plus, check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, keep rocking and loving on what you do.